beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, Star Channel, Galactic, and Embodiment Guide. Happy new moon in Gemini. Are you feeling a little bit of that pressure eased up from the big transition back into Capricorn from Aquarius of our powerhouse planet Pluto? Just happened yesterday, but we're already getting some levity in here. And really the biggest message I'm getting in this Gemini new moon energy is of joy. It is of levity, and it is of curiosity. That's the beauty of the Gemini signature. And when we drop into the highest frequency and vibration of the Gemini energy, we rise above into the unity consciousness, where we can hold two realities as truth and find the higher octave above them. Find the compassion, the empathy through that path of curiosity, of a deep desire to truly understand the viewpoint of other in whatever duality or contrast we might be finding ourselves in. This really helps take us beyond what we've only know in our experience. So we are feeling so much more of the light, which is why the discomfort and the density can be even a little more gruesome, it feels like, than when we had normalized it to such an extent that we just kind of numbed ourselves out from it or even within it. I hope you're following that thread. So the Gemini new moon is coming up on June 18th at 12:37 a.m. Eastern. So it might be on June 17th, depending on your time zone, because it'll be Pacific at 9:37 p.m. That's the peak energy. That's really where you want to bring more of your ritual, more of your curiosity into what do I want to plant here? What do I want to put into the intentional field, into the energetic realm? Because whatever we bring into the physicality, when we bring it into this new earth formula, is what I want to say, especially with Pluto and Capricorn, we find the quantum leaps, the success, we get the downloads and the epiphanies, we get that creation energy. Actually, just about a half hour ago, I tapped into this place with my business because I've been going through, as I'm sure many of you have, like it feels like push and pull, and then sometimes glide and sometimes flow in the last few months, right? And I was like, what do I know to be true? What's the reality here? And the reality is I am never lacking in creation energy. I'm never lacking for a new idea or inspiration to bring into the physical world in my business. It's just actually like creating the time and believing in the time to make those things happen. So when you come back to realities and truths like that, that actually brings you into a deeper state of trust instead of continuing to vibrate in that scarcity or lack, which we can be feeling really intensely out in the collective right now. And if you're tuning in, if you're plugging in to what's going down, you're feeding a system that is dying. So the less we feed it, the quicker it dies off, because we are creating so much in the energy of what we're rebirthing from this beautiful like soul spirit formula of I come into that stillness, I come into the present moment in the reality, and I receive, right? So it's really leading with that divine feminine energy that brings the intuitive hits, the clarity, the ideas, the inspiration through our connection and co-creation, right? With our higher self, with source energy, with God, however that feels right to you. And that's when we then bring in the container of that sacred masculine energy. And maybe in between, we hang out in some androgynous energy, right? Like almost that 0 point activation where it's an abyss, where we're not really receiving more, and we're not really acting on it, and we're just letting it be. We're letting it open. right? And then we move into that sacred masculine container where we come out in strength and confidence. We don't come out from the place that we had been in, that had been so fractured, of forcing an outcome, like finding an outcome, holding on to that and forcing it through whatever we produce, and then attaching our worth to that, right? So let's come back to this beautiful flow formula, that the gas for this formula is trust. And you find the trust in that stillness, in that reality, right? Because so often, and as I do coaching work with people, we get back to this place of like, let's look at everything that you have done instead of continuing to look at what you don't have or what you think you don't have going forward, based on what, like, a criteria that no longer serves you, right? So when you look back and like, oh my gosh, look at all of these experiences, all of this energy, all of this forward momentum that I have created, all of the practice that I've put in, and how much I've continued to up level myself to be ready, right? To be ready for the new wealth, the new container, the new financial flow and abundance. Because as we up level in those places, we have to believe that we are, like, we have the resources to go into those spaces. Right now, just check in with yourself and look at like everything that you have expanded in and where you've expanded from as you're getting ready for what's coming in the physicality. Because if you're doing your work, and if you're here, I know you're doing your work, right? You're manifesting. It's just, we got so hyper focused on the physical reality first. And now we're understanding the goodness and the effortlessness that actually comes in this new spiritual, I keep saying formula, but this new spiritual structure. Because in the reality, we are physical, we are structure. And Pluto moving back into Capricorn is like, hey, what are the thought systems that aren't working? Because through those thought systems are creating our reality. So let's start with the energy. Let's move into the thought systems, the belief shifts, and then the physical manifestation. So that's where it's such a gift and a blessing to come back into this anaretic degree of Capricorn. And we're going to keep moving back into Capricorn until we go back, Pluto stations direct, and we start to come back and we hit Aquarius again at 0 degrees in January 21st of 2024. And then we're going to be like coming into a new up level of the age of Aquarius, with when Pluto finally stations or like stays in Aquarius for the duration. That's going to be like so much of this golden age coming into our reality. So before we go on, I know this morning I've just been buzzing. I'm like, I have so much to share. And I want to try to keep the video small because I can tell that you're all resonating with shorter videos. So that is an intention for me with my Mercury and Aries. It's not always a reality, but we're working on it. But first of all, if you are new to the channel, hello, welcome. I am so excited to have you here. We are building. Let's keep the momentum going. So definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm dropping more and more videos. And when I get to 1K, I am giving away a free 90-minute astrology and Akashic records reading. This will catapult you in what you're moving through right now, especially if it's feeling dense and if you're feeling stuck in any area of your life. And you don't have to wait to see if that free reading has your name on it. You can invest in your soul growth because we know now that's our biggest currency, right? Investing in your alignment is going to change your entire reality because you are the creator of your reality. And this is the new earth learning. It's the experiential educational system that we came to have ourselves come alive in. And it's going to lead to your innate medicine, your soul business, and everything else. It's going to lead to higher relationships. I can also start to give you a better view and experience once I hit those YouTube milestones, and I can shift the ad situation so you don't have to hit skip ads so often. So help me, help you, and let's lift each other up in the age of Aquarius. So what we do in these videos for the new and full moon is I really tap into the energies that are coming through astrologically, as well as the energies I'm feeling in the collective through my channel. So I'm not going to hit all of the transits or aspects, but I'm going to hit what I feel like is really like bubbling up and wanting to be revealed. And then at the end, I pull in a little card read to bring more of that direct guidance from our guides and from the higher dimensions to help us take those next steps and open up new energy in ways that we can work in like more support and more ease. So definitely stick around to the end. And if you'd like to know more about me or my offerings, head on over to my hub at therawandwildhearts.com. Check out all the links below in the show notes. I have some big things coming up because I keep getting so much inspiration in this spiritual system that is the new earth way, the effortless way, right? Of joy and thriving and elevating. Especially I'm going to be giving away some free mini readings on my IG page on the solstice. You don't want to miss that. So even if you want a little preview, come on over, be one of the first to join, and you might get one of those free mini readings. And you can also just see how I work with my guides and how the energy moves through. So come on over to my Instagram page at The Raw and Wild Hearts. I have a manifestation and magnetization bundle dropping in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And I'm also, I'm putting on a summit with some of the most gorgeous, vibrant souls that I've gotten to network with already and collaborate with. And I'm bringing them all together. Y'all, it's going to be so good. It's coming at the end of July. It's called You Are Magical AF. Make sure you're on my email list so you get all of the notifications and alerts about this summit. It's going to be so good. All right, back to this huge new moon, all of this energy as we are rolling into the summer solstice. Every time we hit one of these portals, these activation points, right, for the solstices and the equinoxes, y'all, the potential is even bigger. This is always a co-creation, though. That's why doing the alignment work, the soul growth work, and the practices are your access point. But I also want to talk about this body. Like, we are hearing all kinds of manifestation talk, right? That's because the nodal axis is moving towards Aries in the north node and Libra in the south node. That's going away from the self-sacrificing energies that we have not only learned, but we've actually brought in through generational lines in ourselves, and really like dimming our light in order to please the people that have been in our lives. We are blowing that up. It is so time as we move into the north node of Aries, which is really our light, our passion, our pioneering, right? Like Aries, they move forward. It's ruled by Mars. It's all about instinct, action, intuition, and like taking the step, taking the leap, taking the risk without the filter. But now that we've gone through such a beautiful transformative process, really bringing up our core wounds, our traumas, our triggers, bringing those up and exploring them and transmuting or transforming them, have left ourselves very open to the integration of the light codes, right? That are continually pouring on the planet. They just keep elevating. I mean, it's incredible how solar flares are now the norm. They never used to be. Like, you can look into this, get on your space weather app. It is wild what's going down in the geomagnetic conditions, and the earth, like the core of the earth is absolutely shifting, and the core of us is shifting. So the manifestation talk, there's a reason that you're hearing so many people talk about it. But that's the thing, people are talking about it. And that's where, especially in, got a hair there, especially in the spiritual world, I feel like people have gotten overwhelmed when we just talk about like, oh, this is how you do this and this is the result. But if we don't feel it, if we don't experience it, it can feel almost sometimes out of our grasp because we don't find that result on our own, and we're looking for the result based on how somebody else has done it. This is why I come out in my containers, either online or my accelerated in-person retreat experiences. I demonstrate the cellular recoding, the body unwinding, the star channeling, because that's when your cells are like, I remember. They want to feel it. When we're using this mind as the filter, we're also filtering it with all of the past experiences, all of our community's experiences, all of the energy that we're taking in the collective, and the fear, the learned fear that we have created from the constructs around us. But when we bypass that mind and you're literally in the energy and frequency, which is the new earth way, that's our currency, light, energy, and frequency. The more you learn how to work with those, y'all, the more you are going to have so much ease and so much fun and joy in this unfolding, because it's going to keep showing up. So that is why in my manifestation and magnetization bundle, I am taking you into the practices. You can push play and follow along with me, listen along, drop in until it becomes normalized, until you experience your own result. When you get your own result, it's like, ah, there it is. Oh, this is how I do it. And the way I do it might not be how somebody else does it. This is the same thing that goes for mediumship, telepathy, psychic strength and power. Y'all are doing it. You're just not doing it or receiving it the way that you have heard that it's happened. And so you're looking in the wrong place. This is why, again, in all of my containers, I teach you how to do this based on your unique voice, your unique feeling, and your unique code. It's going to come in your language. And I just want you to really develop that journey and that unfolding, because it'll come so much quicker. As long as you're not looking, this is why I'm very careful. I don't tell you always how I receive it, but I help you understand how so many people can receive in different ways. So I hope that that's helpful, even just to hear that, okay? Because now I want to talk real quick about the Chiron signature. Yeah, I'm bringing Chiron in here. I'm throwing you for a curveball because there's so many other things happening right now. But I really want you to feel into this unfolding journey of Chiron and how we are moving with it. It's like the different systems, right, in our reality and how they're shifting. So right now we're at Chiron in Aries. This is shifting the body. The body as the access point. Aries is all about the physical self and like how we come into the world and how we take action, how we do, right? So the action is receiving through the cells in the body. And as we keep opening up our cells to more space, we receive more light and integrate more light, and we transform the way that we respond. And when we can respond rather than react, as we're transforming that wounding in Aries energy, when we can like have that space, that spaciousness within ourselves to really let it come through the body and feel it and integrate it, transmute it, transform it, all the things, shift it, and then respond. That's the healthy nervous system, because Aries really like has a big tie to the adrenals, and we've been burning out our adrenals in this place of hustle, grind, and self-sacrifice when we've been holding on to the control of a physical outcome first, bringing it back to the beginning. Yeah. Then we move to Chiron and Taurus, and that's going to be about, well, as we've cleaned ourselves, as we're cleaning this body, right? Even as the world around us seems to get more convoluted, more toxic, we're shifting this toxicity within ourselves. toxic relationships, toxic food, toxic chemicals, toxic streams of consciousness, right? Toxic language, words, thoughts. That's shifting so that when we get to Chiron and Taurus, it's really going to be about going from looking at the external to find security and validation and support, bringing that into the internal, really understanding how powerful this resource is, because our body and our feelings and our emotions have now been our superpower because we've been dropping into them so much, including our nervous system, right? And then when we have that regulated nervous system and when we're in that place of soft alignment, we're like, oh, wait, we always have the power in any situation, any experience, any energy. We are never powerless unless we give that power away. And that's what we've been doing, looking for something outside of us to make it better for ourselves. I'm trying to go fast with this. Now we look at Chiron and Gemini, and I want to connect this new moon in Gemini because we are so accelerated. We're jumping timelines, like we're moving beyond geography, like energies are just like, they're just moving. They are like light speed, right? So Chiron and Gemini, that is when we're going to be thought manifestation. Right now, we're still moving through like a big journey with it because we're still dismantling that the limitations that we've been in the linear loop, keeping things up here in the linear loop and trying to make things happen up here, make things happen in our body, make things happen in our reality. And now that we've been coming so deeply into the present moment, it's like, oh, okay, wait, this feels so much better because this is how we came in to thrive. We came in to thrive in our light, through our body, through the health, through the co-creation with Earth, right? More natural remedies, more light healing, right? More nervous system response and regulation. That's our biggest medicine, y'all, biggest, beyond anything else. And we have been absolutely hijacked by normalizing stress. So that has been disempowering us for centuries from our most important resource, which is that regulated nervous system, which is where all of the messages, the downloads, the enlightenments, the creation energy resides. Big stuff, right? So Chiron, and when we get to Chiron and Gemini, we will have gone through this unfolding where we get to a place of mastery with it. We've mastered stress for a really freaking long time. And, you know, you feel how it's like we keep having to come back. We keep having to remind ourselves of the response, and we have to keep practicing the new way because the stress way is just an automatic reaction. It's habitual and it's inherited through our genes, through our cells. And it's in our environment. Our environment is like what happens in the collective is the environment. So y'all stop putting your belief and attention into what you don't want anymore, what you don't believe in, what you know isn't serving us or the collective, because that keeps fueling it. Even if you don't like it, you're still fueling it. I've got to keep bringing it back to that because that we are so powerful. And when enough of us stop giving that attention, you're going to be amazed at how it just actually crumbles. Like we're the ones. We are the catalyst to that. I know I'm getting so excited. We're just, even through like the intensity, I'm in it too. You go back, I'm going to hover it up here. Check out my last video. People are really resonating. It's called Pluto and Rage. It's real. It's an energy update. It's a really quick one. Check it out because we have feelings for a reason. We have to look at what's underneath them. What's the core? What's the root of it? We've got to always bring ourselves to the root, just like we're bringing ourselves into the ground, right? That earth energy that's always been trying to support us that we've been ignoring for so long. And now it's like, oh, this co-creation is so beautiful. So get your bare feet on the ground, like lay on the grass, smell the earth, listen to the birds, and get to the root. If you're feeling rage, like it's okay to feel it, but it's not okay to act on it in unhealthy ways. That's the distinction there. And when you feel something, that's the curiosity that should come up in you to explore it. to not put it out into the world and put it onto somebody else. This is a reflection for you. This is like the medicine, the invitation. What we feel is an invitation to go deeper. So where the heck was I? I think I was talking about Chiron and Gemini, where by the time we get there, this is like a little preview. So let yourself be in this preview. And the last thing I want to talk about, because you'll feel it in the collective, right? When we were just in the Taurus eclipse, you probably noticed everybody was talking about money mindset, because that's the energy that's coming up, that's being revealed through Taurus, like safety and security. And how do we actually shift money mindset from the limitation that it's been in into the expansion that it absolutely has the potential of? And I've been doing deep work on this. I hope you have too. And like I said, I have a bundle coming out for you to really actually like keep pushing play. Keep coming back until it becomes normalized in your experience. You know, if you're still having triggers, if you're still having hangups, like I know your cells are telling you they are our truth meter now. So the last thing, Mercury and Gemini, is this is the psychophysical association, right? Our thoughts, our emotions create a physical or chemical reaction in our body. And your words evoke a positive or negative response and emotion, period. What are the words you're telling yourself? What are the words you're allowing in? Because if they're coming from an energy, a person, an experience, and you continue to show up for that, you're allowing that into your sacred temple, which is the connection, right? Like, let's come back through this whole divine process. Let's just get to the card read here and let's get you moving and grooving. There is so much shifting, not even just day to day, moment to moment. So let yourself be available for those micro evolutions that are happening in big ways. Ooh, interesting. So the first card is victory. I love this. And I'm just going to say, this is like victory. Like, yes, thank you. Bringing us back to the energy of look at how far you've come. When you feel yourself like cemented in the future and the what ifs and the scarcity, that's not real. That's not reality. So I feel like this card is like, bring yourself into reality, because the future is wide open. But if you don't believe it is, then you're pinching yourself off from that. So let yourself be here and now. And when you do tap into the past, tap into, what you have gained, how far you've come, like where you have taken, even if they're baby steps, where have you taken baby steps to get yourself to here? And now from this moment forward, where can you leap to actually open the future into the infinite potential and possibilities that are always available when you believe in them, when you hold that frequency within yourself? Because whatever your thoughts are, whatever you're telling yourself all day is your belief system, and that is your reality. And the next card is the reverse of deceit. And this card is showing me like you're ready, like where you have felt deceived in your world, you're ready to be done with it. Like that is over. That's one of the victories that you're moving into. Like you're making the declaration, this doesn't serve me. And I hope that through this talk, in that declaration, you're not putting blame out. You're really coming within and just saying, I'm changing this reality for myself. Or how have you been deceiving yourself? Right? Where have you not been going all in? Where have you not been taking the leap or the risk? Right? Where you're still staying in the learned fear, when in reality, you take that leap or risk, you can't get it wrong. You can't, especially if it's your guidance system taking you somewhere, because it's co-creating and leading you somewhere that might not be the result that you thought you wanted, but something so much bigger. And then the final card is the Magician in the Mirror, and it's reversed. This is one of the power cards of the deck. It doesn't come up very often, and it's like, look at that. That is the balance. It's the light, the dark, the feminine, the masculine, the cool, the warm, right? Like all of it together, and it's coming together in light. And so the reverse of this, reverse cards to me are always like that retrograde energy, that introspective energy of like, where am I continuing to power forward and feel the resistance and tension? Because I don't trust life. I don't trust the unfolding. I don't trust the messages and guidance. I keep trying and moving towards this place of control of the outcome because it's going to keep feeling more and more uncomfortable. And so this just shows me like it's almost like a tower moment. This feels like a tower moment where it's like, are you going to let it get to the point of what feels like no return or to rock bottom? Any message coming through is just potential. It's energy potentials. And we decide how that integrates, how it aligns for us. We decide where we go with it. It's a springboard, a jumping off place to move forward in your life in new ways. It opens new paths. But if you're not curious, like this Gemini energy, then that's going to be that stop. So I feel like the reverse of this is showing the spiritual structure, the spiritual system, I'm going to say, the spiritual system that has been, it keeps proving itself. I mean, you can go online, all kinds of people are sharing their innate medicine, they're changing their jobs, they're shifting their life because they're following this spiritual unfolding path, the spiritual system, and it's working for them. And when they have trust, they keep moving forward. The bridge keeps meeting them as they take the next step, as they leap, as they jump, right? So this is like, where are you holding yourself back in your life for almost an arbitrary reason, for something that's not reality? Because when you take that jump and that leap, and when you say yes to the light that's trying to come through, you're getting all of it. You're following that new earth formula that is powered by trust. It's not powered by a result. That's what we've got to get out of. That's what we've got to shift. Okay, I know this has been so big. I'm hoping I can edit it down a little bit for you to really make it a little more succinct and honor your time. And I love y'all so much. Like the video if you felt support from this. Let us know in the comments, what are you feeling? Like, what are the rumblings? What are you being invited into? And what do you feel like you're on the edge of saying yes to? Y'all, the last thing I want to say is what I'm feeling deeply is we have to remember, even through all of this work, right? The spiritual path and journeys work, it's important to have fun and inject our life with joy and like really let ourselves laugh and be buoyant, because that's some of the deepest medicine as well. And that's going to bring more of this expansion and this like new earth way of being into our reality. So, all right, y'all. I love you. Happy Gemini New Moon. I hope to see you on my IG Live for mini solstice readings on the solstice, June 21st. And just hit me up. I love to know what's going on. Let me know if you have questions. I'm here to support you. This is such a powerful time in history. What a moment. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for continuing to show up. It is an unfolding, and we all are here to do it in our unique way with our own cosmology. Until next time, y'all, don't forget to keep looking up.